Hi, nobodies. So it's a gloomy day. It may not look like it because I got the window right here. It might look like it's kind of bright out there. It's not. It's gonna storm. Um. So yesterday and today, I've been laying out a whole bunch of things, and because I really felt like those things needed to be said. And the person was like, "Why all this now?" And then later they said, "Better late than never." Here's the thing about an INFJ, which is what I am. Whether you believe in such things or not, there's a lot you can learn about yourself taking the Myers Briggs test, even if it's just the online version that's free. I would suggest taking two or three of them, different ones, and then waiting a month or two and taking it again, you know, because you can type wrong. I always type the same. It's always INFJ. Um, and I've taken it like 15, 20 times. So I'm always hoping maybe I changed. No, you don't. Um, Something a lot of people don't realize about me is is that as an INFJ, I only make up tops 2% of the population. So the way that my mind works, the way that things go is quite different than what everyone else is. Um, Not saying I'm special. Uh, we are called unicorns, and there are a lot of things that say, "Oh, once if you find one, keep them." But we're just as easily flawed as anybody else in this world. Um, but here's the thing: like, we need a lot of time to recuperate from extroverting. And when I say extroverting, I'm talking about socializing in general. Now, there are two kinds of socializing, or two kinds of how do I put this? I guess alone with people. There's intrusive and unintrusive. Now, I can be around people if they allow me to read. If I'm reading a book and they're totally cool doing their own thing, maybe they're reading a book, they're not asking me to stop what I'm doing. They're just doing their own thing nearby. They're not disturbing me. They're not requiring me to interact in any way, shape, or form. That's unintrusive. If I'm reading and and they come at me with this idea of, well, she's not doing anything special. She's just anything important. She's just reading. She's just reading a book. Um, Let me tell you something. Reading a book is important to me. That is how some people do self care, getting lost in a story. Sometimes that's all you've got is a book. You have no money. Maybe you don't even have a place to live. You can have a fucking book and you can read that book. Sometimes that's it. That's all you get. And, so you can't look at anybody reading a book and say, they're not doing anything important. They're just reading. Well, you know, how about I tell you, oh, he's not doing anything important. He's just wanking. He's not doing anything important. He's just watching a movie. He's not doing anything important. He's just rolling a joint, smoking a joint. You know, we, that's part of the self care. It's part of our process. You can ask any INFJ who they'd be. What character would you be in what book? And we've got answers. Oh my God, we've got answers. Now, narrowing it down to one might be difficult for us because we want to be a part of just about every world we read about. We want to be that person or in that society. Sometimes you'll just get like our most recent read. Oh, I'm reading this thing right now. And we will talk a ton about what we're reading or what really cool show we're into, because we like to escape. This world is very draining to us. So we like to escape. There's also music. Oh, she's not doing anything important. She's just listening to music. Au contraire, my friend. I am decompressing. And if you can sit there and listen to the music with me, sing along, dance, have a good time, say, I love this song, play it again, please. Can we listen to it again? Just one more time? You are being so unintrusive to our process. And we're cool with that. You're actually helping us. When we say, I love this song, that means you need to listen. If we say, hey, look at this, or listen to this, we want you to listen. It's saying something we want to say, because INFJs are most of the INFJs I know speak through music and poetry, and the things that we want to say, we feel like they say it best. So we want to share that with people. We want them to understand. And so when we say, oh, I love this song, and somebody talks all the way through it, and we don't even get to enjoy it, not only do we not get to enjoy it, they didn't hear it. That is very obtrusive. And you have killed our process. You have actually put some of the drain on us. Or at least that's my feelings. I can't say every INFJ is as into music as I am. But when I say, oh my God, I love this song, that means shut up and listen. If you can't, go outside, because I want to listen to it. And in all honesty, I'm going to be a little offended if you just leave, because I'm going to feel like I just handed you a piece of me. Like I just handed you a piece of my heart and you just threw it in my face. Because ultimately, the music that I love, the songs that I say, I love this song, that means something to me. If I make you a playlist, if I say I made a playlist just for you, when an INFJ does that kind of thing for you, not only do you listen to it, you bug them for it. Like if they say, I'm working on a playlist for you, you say, have you finished it? Have you finished my playlist? Because I really want to hear what songs you've picked for me. Because when we pick those songs specifically for you, it's not just the stuff we like. It's the stuff we like that we think you'd like, that also says how we feel. It's like a love letter. And, there's been quite a few times I've made playlists for people, and every time I make one and the person couldn't care less about it, makes me feel like I should never create a playlist for anybody, even myself. Like it makes me question, why do I have a playlist that I call my soul? Nobody cares to hear it. They know it exists and they never say, "Let me hear your soul. Let me hear the pieces of you." Because that's what it is. And oddly enough, that playlist actually changes every so often. Uh, I delete everything, go through my stash of, I think right now we're at 7,500 songs. Go through that long list of songs and pick out which ones I'm feeling right now. And then that's my soul, and there are always going to be some things that always make the cut. Like Running Away by Midnight Hour is always going to make the cut. Uh, Take on Me by Aha is always going to make the cut. I think anybody who really loves music not only picks songs that have meaning as far as lyrics go, they also pick things that remind them of a time. Like Aha's Take on Me was like the first time that I watched a video and I fell in love with a character. Like that video was, I was touched. And it's the first time I remember being touched that way. And that song just takes me back to that time in my life, how I felt as a person, and things were, it makes it seem like things were good. It's just something that kind of, the nostalgia of it. And so things like that always end up on there. And then there's just stuff, like I'll put all of my songs on shuffle, and as I'm listening, there will always be like we sitting there listening to stuff, and I'm either dancing, or singing, and then sometimes I'll come across a song and I'll say, "Wait, what is this one?" Because with 7,500 sometimes, and I'm always adding to it, so there are like some songs that I heard a little bit of and I never really listened to them. So it's kind of like a surprise for myself. And I'll hear it and I'll say, okay, that's going on my soul because that means something to me today. And sometimes, I'll hear something and I'll be like, okay, I liked that song when I was a kid, like George Michael's One More Try. I listened to that the other day, and for the first time, I actually felt it. I've always liked the song. I've always known the lyrics. But I've never really truly grasped what he was saying. And that's a really fun moment when you have that moment of something that you've heard a million times and you finally just fucking hear it. I think a year ago, I finally really, really, really identified with Linkin Park's Numb. Like, I'd always liked the song, I always sang along, always knew the words, but it finally just clicked that I identify with this. And when you feel that, and I don't know about other people, I know only of myself, but when I connect with something like that, it's so important. And when somebody doesn't care enough to listen, and I know that they're not going to hear it with my ears, they're not going to hear that from the same place that I was at when I decided that this is part of my soul, this is part of me. No, they're not going to hear it the way I heard it. But maybe they will. Maybe. it will touch them as it touched me. And maybe they'll understand me better. Like maybe they'll listen, maybe they'll hear what I'm trying to say and get it. Because as great as INFJs are with words, we are really bad about explaining ourselves. And it takes a lot of alone time to really untangle. I've seen memes showing like the thought process of an INFJ. It goes in one ear, tangles up in the center, and then comes out as a line. And it takes time for us to untangle that. And there's so much of that that doesn't end up coming out. Um, we see everything. I mean, if you ask me, what is wrong with me? I can tell you. I I can tell you everything that is wrong with you. I won't. I won't. You can ask me, what do I have to offer? That I will share. That I will come up with on the spot. Like I have it. I know what you offer. Um, but the bad stuff, it's always like I'm sitting there going, "Ooh, I could tell you, but you don't want to hear it because it's going to be harsh. It's going to be really harsh because it's all data. It's it's just data. It's shit we've seen, things we've observed, and every faux pas you make is cataloged. There's a database of shit you've done. uh, and you do not want us to tell you all of it. I choose to err on the side of caution and just keep my mouth shut, because if I do open it, bad things happen. um, but I laid out all this stuff for that person because, for the past month, I haven't had to really cater to anybody. I haven't had to put down what I was doing to do something else. It was all about, okay, I've got this time, I can stick to a plan. Plans are really important to us. Like changing the plan at the last minute, we can handle a couple of little tweaks, but if you go and throw the whole shit, that doesn't destroy us, but it it makes, like, for me in particular, it really messes with me to have my plans change at the last minute. Like if it's a complete, like, oh, we're supposed to do this, and then it becomes something, okay, well, we need to do this first. Okay, we'll do that first. That's fine. And then it's like, well, we'll do it later today. Okay, we'll do it later today. When what I had planned does not happen at all, and it gets put off to the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, it drives me nuts. I'm not gonna lie, it drives me nuts. I can't handle it. It's like, no, 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 no. You can tweak my plan all you want. Do not destroy it. And by God, please give me notice. Like if you say, I don't want to do that day, I'm cool. I'm adaptable. Just don't throw all my plans out like they don't fucking matter. Because I made the plan. Like if you tell me what you want to do, I will put it into the plan. Just don't treat my plans like they don't fucking matter, because what I want to do is just as important as what anybody else wants to do. And it's important for me to follow the plans I make. And when I find that I'm around people who are constantly changing my plans, I plan for nothing with them. Because I know that they're just going to change my plans. So why put the energy into making a plan that they're just going to throw out anyway? And then they're like, "What? Well, why aren't you planning with me?" Because you're going to change the plan. That bugs me. To no end, that fucking bugs me. It's like, no, I gotta depend on the fact that if we make a plan, it's gonna be followed through and it's gonna be all right. Just fucking go with me on that. It helps with my mental health. It really does. I don't care what I don't care what I'm planning, even if I don't want to do what I'm planning on doing. Stick to the plan. So, but yeah, I've had time to think about things, and I really enjoy my time to think, and people do intrude. I love them anyway. I take that with a grain of salt, but it does wear on me after a while, that not having actual alone time I am where I get to do whatever I want with nobody interrupting me, nobody saying, "Hey, I need you to do this for me. I need you to do that for me. Talk to me, entertain me." Yeah. So anyway, that's it for me today. As always, every moment is an opportunity to turn things around. Have a great day. Bye.